Greetings! So in today's video, I'll be going through these two sketchbooks. They're the same kind of sketchbooks. As you can see, one is from 2020, the other one is from 2021, 2022. And I'll just quickly go through them and discuss my impressions of this specific sketchbook. So as always, I like to do kind of a first page in each sketchbook and have the date somewhere nearby. And I started with some sketches, some swatches. Oops. So this is kind of the first real drawing I did in there. Here I encountered an issue with the book in that it's split open. I don't know if you can see. But I use special tape to keep it together, and the tape is doing its job well. More like studies and sketches. I think I was looking at Sean Dante's work when I did these, just to try stuff out. More experiments, more swatches, again and again. Another one where the signature split. So I use some of the tape again to keep it together. More tests, more sketches. Here, maybe you remember this one. I think I had this in a review somewhere. And these two, I quite like this one still. Swatches, swatches, mixes, swatches, mixes. And then I have pages of Autumn Chiyu's beautiful watercolor paints. And that's kind of it for this one. I'll go through the second one and then I'll talk generally about my impressions, okay? So second one, here, 2021. Again, a bit of an intro page. I didn't put the date on this one, but oh well. Swatches, mixes, tests. You might remember some of these from videos I've done. There's also a lot of tests and swatches in these. And like figuring out palettes. More experiments. A lot of swatches, a lot more swatches, something eye-burning. I tried to draw on top of a layer of neon acrylic. These, I don't know, perhaps you remember these, but at this point I started experimenting with watercolor over acrylic. And I did a bunch of these. Again, the book split, so I used tape to keep it together. More, I have a piece of tracing paper here just because acrylic tends to be a bit more sticky. And I have more tests and paintings here. Still exploring that idea with various backgrounds, various colors on top. Just trying out stuff. Here I have a couple of extra swatches. Black paper. A bit more studies and swatches and sketches and stuff like that. And that's about it for this one. Oh, and I put these in there just to keep them with the year they were made. Okay, so these books. So the ones I have are by Michael Solovyev. I hope I said that relatively properly. It says Professional Watercolor Sketchbook, 100% cotton cold press 300 GSM paper, 48 pages, limited edition, whatever that really entails to. So the artwork on the book is made by Mr. Solovyev. In terms of using the books themselves, I really like them. I like the format. I think this is a good size. I like the paper. The paper seems to be very similar on both sides, so you don't end up with a weird texture on one side and, you know, the right texture on the right side. So that was a thing I liked. As you can probably guess, the main flaw of these books is that the signatures are a bit weak and they will split and kind of break the book apart. I tried various things to keep the book together. I think at first I used washi tape, but it really didn't stick. So I ended up getting this Sekisui tape. It's a paper tape, but it's really resilient. And if I remember right, I think it's like hinging tape, mostly used for framing. I'll see if I can find exactly what it is, like the listing. But it's usually what I use for any kind of sketchbook breaking apart. I will take out this tape and use it, since it's holding on pretty well. Aside from that splitting issue, I really don't have any problems with the sketchbook. I quite like it. I don't think I used it in the most efficient way in these two books. I understand the value of seeing swatches on good paper to be able to paint, but at the same time, I feel like I could have done something a bit more interesting with these to give them a bit more value in the long term, in the sense that finished sketchbooks end up making quite a big pile of books and they take up a lot of space. So I prefer when I can make the sketchbooks worth keeping and not something that I will probably end up cutting up a few pages from and recycling the rest when I run out of space. I'll be able to show what I mean in more details by a more useful sketchbook when I can finally do a tour of my current sketchbook that is almost finished. I feel like with that one, I figured out a way to make my sketchbooks really more efficient and combining the swatches and the tests and all that together in a way that makes it a lot more interesting to keep in the long run. So to quickly sum it up, great books, great paper, great size. That's the good things. The potential issues with this book is the signatures breaking apart. And you cannot really, I don't know, maybe there's a more aesthetically pleasing way to fix it than just sticking brown tape on top of the seam to hold it together, but I don't know. Also, I think these are quite expensive. I was fortunate that someone sent these to me to try out and make a video about them, but otherwise, yeah, they're kind of on the more expensive end of sketchbook, considering they have good paper in them, good cotton paper, so that always hikes up the price. I'll see if I can find these still online. They tend to come and go, so whatever info I can find at the moment of posting this video, I'll put in the description below if you want to check it out. Aside from that, I'd be really curious to hear your thoughts if you have tried these and what you make of them. I would also love to hear about your favorite cotton paper sketchbooks in the description, because I'm always looking to try new cotton paper sketchbooks. And it's a bit harder to keep track of them. So if you've tried any that you really enjoyed, please let me know. Please share the info with everyone. In the meantime, I'll return to my current sketchbook so I can finish it as quickly as possible, so that I can do a video about it as well.